Hello and welcome back to KNF Design. If you're new here, my name is Katie and I try to bring a wide variety of different craft projects to you. If you ever have a craft project you would like me to show you how to make or just want to see me try to make it, let me know down below and I'll try my best to bring that to you. If you like today's craft project, make sure to hit those thumbs up. It really does mean a lot to me and it helps bring my crafting videos to more crafters like you. Don't forget to also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That way you don't miss out on any of our crafting fun. So with that, let's get crafting. Today we're going to use this donut mold to make wreaths. Originally I was going to use resin to do this, but then I thought resin's kind of scary to get into if you haven't worked with it before, so I thought you guys might like to know if you can do it with something else, a little bit more family-friendly material, not as an expensive material. And the second thing is my resin was bad. I know that because it is yellow. So I thought, why not? I've done a similar thing with Mod Podge. I've done a tree and a bunny, and the one I used clear glue, the tree I used Mod Podge. It worked great, and I think it would work really well for this as well. So instead of resin, we're going to do 1 part water to 1 part Mod Podge. I do want my shiny stones to be all nice and shiny, so we are using the Glossy Mod Podge. This one is from Michael's. They have different ones here. I also picked up one which is a little bit different shade of green from Hobby Lobby. The one from Hobby Lobby has bigger chunks, and I think the smaller chunks will be better. So if I use some of this different color, I think it'd be kind of cool to mix the two. I'm gonna try to maybe pour it out and just pick out the smaller ones or break up these bigger ones. And then I thought the red would be really pretty as like berries inside of a wreath. Another thing to note, if you do, especially with resin, this mold here is shiny inside, which would mean when I demold a resin piece, it will be shiny. But if your mold is matte on the inside, then when you unmold the resin piece, it would also be matte. With the Mod Podge, that shouldn't matter as much since we're using the Glossy Mod Podge. I also know with resin, again, I was planning on doing resin originally, you can put this little like pen looking thing, silicone mold, into your molds and it'll kind of create that hole. So when you want to string up these wreaths, you can just feed the string through that little hole. It's like a void. It doesn't let the resin, or hopefully in this case Mod Podge, go in that area. When I looked online, they wanted like 20 bucks for it, and I didn't have another project I would need them for. So I thought, you know what, why don't I pre-make my strings? I'll do a layer of my stones, then I'll put my string in, and then a layer of the stones on top, and that'll kind of hide it. So I think that will work as well. If it doesn't, I can just kind of string it once it's done as well. Then things to decorate. Oh, this is a donut mold I got that has two. Wishful thinking, I might make donuts some point. Is that ever gonna happen? Probably not. But I can wish, right? So I'm not gonna do the blue one just in case I do use it for food. Yeah, I think it'll be a pretty good mold. Just make sure these pieces are not like bent or anything when you do it. So that way you get a nice shape. The back side's gonna be really nice and smooth, and the front side will be a little bit more, I think, wreath-like, because it'll be more edgier. So I like that better, at least that's what I'm hoping. So I'm gonna put all my decorative pieces on here while it's still wet. If you like that smoother look, then you could always wait to add the beads for like this later. Or you could try to do it first and then the green on top. That could also work. But if you do anything bigger, you might wait and just glue it on separate if you like that backside. If you like the rougher look on the front, which I think I'm going to, but we'll see how it goes, then you can just put them right on top. So other things besides different colored rocks you can do, bows, you can put a little bow on it. I thought about like, it'd be really pretty to make a resin bow and put it on top, but one, my resin, it probably would be okay, but I wasn't sure about getting it out, and I didn't have any big bow molds, so I just said, I'll use what I have. So I'm gonna use some of these red ones, or Dollar Tree has these fun green and red ones. I think this one came from Hobby Lobby. I have some poinsettias, Hobby Lobby again, I think. These ones, I thought Dollar Tree, but that might also be a Hobby Lobby logo. Those could be pretty. Again, if you don't want, if this doesn't work to kind of hide where we tie it, we can put all this stuff at the top. And I have some little rocks that could be kind of pretty. We could do some sequins, or Dollar Tree has these diamond fillers. Aren't those pretty? I think I'm definitely going to use some of these as well. And then I thought, instead of just some green wreaths, it might be really pretty to do some white ones. So I might use some of these white ones. And in here I also have some of my glass that I colored, showed you how to color with, I believe it was the bunny I did, so I'll try to link both the tree and the bunny. But I tried to color those with gallery glass, and it looked pretty good. So I have some bags of those that I might also use. This one here I spray painted, so you can color this glass here, and that's what I did to get those different colors. That's two different blues. So I might use some of those as well. The first thing, so like I said, 1 part water to about 1 part Mod Podge. You know me, I'm not going to be exact. I'm just going to roughly measure it and then use a paintbrush to kind of mix it. I do want to make sure that this mixture gets all the way to the bottom of our mold. So I'm going to pour a little bit of our mixture in once I mix them together first, before adding our rocks, and then I'll fill it most of the way with these, and then I'll add all of our fun decorations, and then do another layer of our glue, and just really try to make sure it gets into all those little nooks and crannies. Oh, another fun thing, you could use this tube confetti as well, and that'd be kind of fun inside. just found some pretty chunky glitter that I thought would be pretty. So I'm gonna try to do just the gold. I still have a bit of my glue mixture, so I'm just curious what it would happen if I put it in my bow mold, how well it would pop out. So then I also figured it's a bow, let's color it. So I'm just using this Dollar Tree Resin Studio mica powder to color the glue. Couldn't see that, but I was just wiping off some of that extra glue off the top. So these have been sitting for 3 days. And as you can tell with this one, it is still not curing at all. This one here came from this, and at least this half, the front, did come off and is kind of, but it's very fragile and just, it's not working. I'm gonna let that sit and see if it will do anything else. These ones, I mean, they just crumble when I tried to pull them out. This one I might be able to get it a little bit. But they're just not drying for some reason. Maybe my Mod Podge was really old, or the fact that it was too watered down. I'm not sure. Some of these, I think, yeah, that one might be good to flip. I think the green ones for some reason held up a little bit better. But these white ones, oh gosh, now that side's all crumbling. Just look how wet that is underneath too. And I tried lifting this one's even worse, so I'm not gonna even try. I do want to see, these are the bows we did, and remember they were all the way to the top, but as you can see, it like shrunk a lot. I did kind of pop them out a little bit to see if they were dry. I think they still look cool. They are kind of transparent, which can be nice. This little extra you can pull off. They are pretty flexible. And these do feel, I'd say, fairly dry. There, with the green background, you can see how transparent it is. But they're super thin now. This glue up here that's still wet, that was where the overlap of this was, so there was another one on top of it, and that's the part that didn't dry, but this down here is dry, so I thought that was interesting that it dries where nothing's covering it. That one's probably gonna not work. I don't know, I guess you could still use it. And the last one. I'm gonna set these out, see if they're now that it's the back side's visible, if it'll harden any or if any of this hardens any. But yeah, I think I am going to probably end up scrapping most of this. So good to know Mod Podge did not work, or at least mine didn't. Again, maybe I had added too much water to my Mod Podge. Maybe you don't need to water it down at all. So taking these out and just flipping them upside down, I did take some of this, like, I don't know even what you call this mess of glue and glass, and put it on the back, so it kind of, especially like this one, you can tell, chunked it up a little bit just to cover the back to hold that a little bit more. I see a little gap there I might need to do, but that did seem to help, and so now they do hold. They are still, they're less, maybe a little less wobbly, still fragile. I'm gonna have to build that up a little bit more, so probably just put some of that there and let it dry. Maybe even just apply some glue to help hold it. I might even just do the whole back to get it a little bit thicker, but I think it will eventually work. It just, that piece is loose. Oh, okay. Still fragile. But they're better. This one, I think I chunked up a little bit better, so it worked decently. It is holding. It still has a little bit of give, so I don't want to be too rough with it. They are really pretty with the chunky glitter and things like that in it. And I like that you get the texture, and it's weird. So when I took it off, it was able to dry. Something about being this thick, it's not able to dry. But this bottom stuff is just, it's very wet still. I mean, you can see how liquid that is. So I wonder if it just didn't get mixed well enough, and so this just isn't drying, or maybe because it was under it, but I felt like this should have hardened. But if I take it and put it on here, it does, but if I leave it in here, it's not. A little weird. This one here is just coming apart if I try, so he's gonna be a goner. Again, as you can see, pieces are still falling, but at least they're kind of usable. Just be really delicate with it. And I'll probably build up pieces a little bit more if I do decide to use those, but that would have been a really pretty one. There's that one. Kind of lost a chunk here and here. Well, that's probably what this piece was going to be. Can maybe glue him back in there. But that's kind of pretty how I was doing like a rope or something. And the string is very stiff. And like this one, the string even got colored a little bit, or like this one, it got colored green. So just be a little careful with that. And I did like the gold with the confetti with the rocks or glass. That's also really pretty. So I think they can turn out pretty. You just got to be careful with them. And I'm gonna probably have to work with them a little bit to build up the backs a little bit more. If I do this again, I would probably do the resin method. It's just that way you don't have to worry about trying to take them out. Some of them not working like that one didn't at all. So that one's gonna be ruined. Or if I really want to, I can fish it out and try to piece it together. I just have to be real careful and set that aside, and then I'd have to build up that base again. There's a huge gap over here that I'd have to do. So I personally do resin over the glue. Thought the glue would be nice, but the resin, you can just get it from Dollar Tree and get a small one if you don't want to buy a bunch because it can get pricey. And then you don't have to deal with pieces not like coming out. So now all this glass is kind of wasted too because it has this like glue stuff on it. So less waste, no hassle trying to do it over multiple days and hoping it works. So I was glad I tried it just so I could show you if it was good or not. For me, it did not work. Maybe there was something else I could have done better, but for me, it didn't work. So now you know. When I took photos of these, I just wanted to make a little bit of a comment. First, pieces are still falling off here. I think, yeah, this one's just about to come off. So I am going to have to flip them over, add a little bit more bulk and glue to the back to strengthen them. But I think these will work. When I was putting up some resin ones I made on my tree, I noticed my tree started to tilt a little bit. The resin ones are quite a bit heavier than these. But then again, the resin ones are twice as thick as these as well. I also think another option you could do, which might work really well with these, since the donut molds were so thick, the glue wasn't setting underneath it, maybe using a round mold, so either putting a cup in the middle so you get the roundness of it, or this one even has a little groove, so I could do it on the back side. It's quite a bit bigger, but you could always find smaller ones. So maybe if you just do a thin wreath like that versus that thick donut, that might work better for the glue method, but you'll have to try that. I have not. So I'm gonna try to buff these up a little bit because I do like them. They just need a little bit more work with them. But yeah, that's all I'm doing, is adding a little bit more of the glue and glass just to beef up the back. But other than that, they are finished. So gives you an option whether you want to do the glue method or the resin. I think if I did them again, I personally would probably do the resin method. It was so much easier for me, although maybe doing a round mold might make it a lot easier as well. But either way, I really like how they turn out. I think it's gonna look really pretty on my little tree, and I'm still happy with them. I hope you had fun crafting with me and seeing some do's and don'ts, and hopefully this will also give you a little idea when you go and make yours, if you want to do the glue, try the resin, and some tricks of what not to do and what to possibly try. Thanks for crafting with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.